We've all started treating ourselves like projects. It seems like every week there's a new beauty trend to follow, and every month there's a new fitness plan. That's good, right? We're working on ourselves, we're growing.
If you're really serious about beauty maxing, these are the 3 things that you have to do.
Oh,
Expensive things worth every penny. Simba Hybrid Pillow, Le Labo Fragrance, Joseph Laundry Basket, Apple TV, Vital Proteins Collagen Powder.
okay, is all of this really necessary?
Word on the street is baddies are going to bed looking like this now.
What did this have to do with self-improvement again? Somewhere along the way, self-improvement has turned into self-optimization. Every aspect of our lives has to be planned meticulously. There needs to be an aesthetic to match everything that we do, and we must strive for perfection. Today, we are discussing social media's portrayal of excellence and how it can really take the fun out of things. In our discussion, we are going to use some psychological theory because I am a psychology student. Let's begin with self-discrepancy theory. This theory tells us that there is a gap between our actual self and our ideal self. You know, the person who you wish you were. We all have a unique perception of our ideal selves, but social media provides an example of who that person should be. Someone who is very productive, gets so much done in the day, but also can balance their hobbies and also, of course, makes time for rest, because if we don't promote rest, then there's something askew there. Samsung carried out a study on 1,500 adults who were aged 18 to 25. They found that 72% of the adults in this sample decided to take up a new hobby after seeing that hobby on social media. 72%. We are constantly looking to social media to help guide us in our lives. Hobbies were initially meant for leisure. Hobbies tend to improve our physical health or our mental health, or at the very least, they provide us with some joy. Meanwhile, social media is known for being very saturated. We see the same trends, we hear the same audios, sometimes we see the exact same video posted by a different creator. We see all of this because this is what performs well online. It is nice that social media has made a lot of hobbies and activities more accessible to people. For example, some people believe that they can't begin ballet dancing unless they started it in childhood. But we see a lot of people trying ballet on TikTok and Instagram, and we know that it's possible for us at any age. That feels really liberating, right? Social media shows us to strive for excellence and to be accomplished in what we do. But what exactly do we mean by accomplishment? According to self-determination theory, people thrive when they have 3 needs met. These 3 needs are autonomy, competence, and relatedness. A lot of self-improvement spaces that we see online reward people for their competence. Looks maxing is coming to mind right now, but I don't really want to delve into that online space. Not today. Many self-improvement spaces reward people for being competent and self-reliant, but they tend to focus less on true connection with other people. Now, I'm not talking about yoga retreats or wellness centers. I'm sure that these spaces actually do bring people together. Rather, I'm focusing on the rise that we've seen in the past few years of content that centers around the self. The videos that say, I locked in, I went to the gym, I cut off all of my friends. These videos are often praised on social media more than they are shamed. Videos that teach you how to become more conventionally beautiful tend to perform better and reach more people than the videos that teach you how to make friends. There is more of a focus on how we can change our own inner selves and our outer selves, rather than how we can serve the community. Circling back to self-determination theory, the type of self-improvement content that we see online, it can make us more independent, it can make us more competent in our work, but it doesn't necessarily increase our relatedness to other people. It doesn't necessarily help us connect to other people. And when I see this type of content talk about socializing with other people, it tends to be connecting in a LinkedIn networking type of way. As in, I should be friends with this person because knowing this person will get me closer to someone else to get me closer to an opportunity. But that's not true connection. I haven't seen nearly enough videos going viral about how to maintain female friendships and the importance of female friendships, or the importance of friendships in general. I don't see these going viral as much as I see the videos on how to completely glow up in 24 hours, how to transform your body. Human satisfaction does come from feeling accomplished and improving ourselves and working on ourselves, but it also really truly comes from having a community of people who we care about and who care about us. This is not highlighted enough in self-improvement spaces. The rewarding of competency and autonomy relates heavily to individualism. This is a Western philosophy that centers around being reliant on yourself. It also centers around self-expression and independence. This is wonderful because it tells us that we are our own person and we can make our own decisions. On the other hand, collectivism, which is an Eastern philosophy, prioritizes the community as a whole. The group has shared goals and they work together to achieve those goals. Interestingly, in this 2021 article, individualistic cultures reported more loneliness than collectivist cultures. When we become so focused on our goals, we can neglect the relationships that are in our lives. I can say that I struggle with this issue because I listen to music everywhere that I go, in the car, while I'm walking to places, in the gym. For me, it helps me stay focused because while I'm listening to music, I envision the life that I want for myself. But then I come back home and I realize that I haven't talked to a single person the whole day. I could have had a lovely chat with a stranger. I could have talked to someone in my gym. But instead, these opportunities for conversation were missed, all so I could stay in my own bubble that felt like it was taking me to my goals. A prominent figure who has influenced multiple self-improvement spaces is Wonyoung. Wonyoung is one of the most well-known South Korean idols in the industry. What sets her apart is her elegance and beauty as well as her discipline. She was scouted at only 12 years old and she debuted in the group 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐢 at only 14 years old. She is known for her excellence, having placed first on a survival show at just the age of 13 and having brand deals with well-known companies at 21. There are so many people who idolize Wonyoung to the point where there is a lifestyle trend named after her. This is known as Wonyoungism. Wonyoungism originated in 2023 on social media. There is definitely an aesthetic to Wonyoungism. Pink, Pilates, princess, academic weapon, hardworking. She doesn't struggle through it. She is kind of effortlessly hardworking and graceful and elegant. Wonyoungism encourages typically young women and girls to take care of their appearances, to eat healthy, to exercise, and to work hard in school or work. The deep admiration for Wonyoung can be explained through Festinger's theory of social comparison. The theory states that we compare ourselves to other people to see how we measure up. We compare our attitudes, our beliefs, our skills. There are both upwards and downwards comparisons. People tend to make upwards comparisons when it comes to someone like Wonyoung. This means that she is perceived as superior, in her abilities, that is. People admire her for her work ethic, for her strong demeanor, for her dance skills. This admiration can make someone compare themselves to see how they measure up to someone like Wonyoung. This can create an assimilation effect, meaning that people feel motivated by Wonyoung's abilities and they want to be like her in a way. That's where trends like Wonyoungism stem from. When we see someone who we believe is superior in their abilities or attitudes, we measure ourselves up against them and we are either motivated by them or they make us feel bad about ourselves. It is important to highlight that the Wonyoung we see is a brand. We don't truly know her personality or opinions. She presents a perfectly curated version of herself when she's performing. This is perfectly normal because she is an idol. It is her job to perform. And the fact that many people admire Wonyoung, that they directly take inspiration from her in their daily lives, can be very empowering, as she is a very hardworking person. However, the empowerment fades when we start comparing ourselves on a regular day to a perfectly curated brand of a person. I see so many memes saying that people were waking up at 3 a.m. in 2023 to practice Wonyoungism while Wonyoung was probably fast asleep. I think that is true. I do not think she was waking up at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. Are you serious right now? It's funny, but there is some truth to it because we don't see the off days of someone like Wonyoung. We don't see her rest days. And it can be damaging to compare ourselves to the best version of someone else. Rather than properly immersing ourselves in our activities, sometimes we feel like we're performing to people who might not even be watching us. Performative behavior, whether online or in real life, can actually be reinforced through a dopamine loop. When we receive external validation, like when we make a post about our glow-up transformation, we receive likes, which is external validation, and our brain releases dopamine. For example, someone might start going to the gym because they want to get stronger and look more toned. They put in the work, they're consistent, they're getting their gains, and then one day people start complimenting them on their body, maybe not exactly on their strength. This validation can make the person's brain release dopamine and they feel like they want to keep working out to keep getting that validation from other people. Originally, their goal was just to get stronger, but now they're chasing that same high of approval from other people. You may have experienced this with a hobby before. You start to do it for yourself, but then other people's opinions, other people's validation starts to come in, and it shifts the focus from your own passion into something different. It feels like a performance. Some content creators have told us that we can create our reality through controlling our thoughts. What these creators are referring to is an internal locus of control. This is when we believe that we can control the outcomes and events that happen in our lives. So any success or failure is because of our own efforts. The content that I've seen online seems to mostly praise having a greater internal locus of control. There are positives to it, of course. You have a lot of agency when you have an internal locus of control because you are making the decisions in your life. You are the one who is choosing whether you want to study today or not study today, whether you want to work out today or not work out today. And in that way, you can control the outcomes of your life. That feels quite empowering. It feels like we have a lot of control. On the other hand, if we believe that any success or failure is all our fault, this can cause us to self-criticize. If something doesn't go the way that you've planned, you might blame yourself, and this can be very mentally exhausting. The self-criticism also feeds this loop of constantly needing to be better. Pilates, gym sessions, online side hustles, hobby maxing, Botox, diets. There is always more that we can do to improve ourselves. Some creators have made posts where they talk about the tiredness that they feel from trying to keep up with these lifestyle trends and the self-improvement trends. What is being described here sounds an awful lot like burnout. A 2017 paper by psychologist Seppala and professor of organizational behavior Marissa King found a significant correlation between feeling exhausted at work and feeling lonely. Constantly trying to optimize ourselves means that we're spending less time focusing on other people around us and honing our relationships with them. As well as that, if we are burnt out, then we have less mental energy to invest in our relationships with other people. We're too exhausted to go out with them. For years, I've been seeing content that promotes locking in and being lonely. This is praised as a respectable route. It signifies to others that you are disciplined and that you have firm boundaries with other people. When I was a teenager and I struggled to make friends, I found this content to be quite comforting because it showed that I didn't need anyone except myself. But again, the burnout that this lifestyle can cause, along with the loneliness that it can induce, I don't think it's worth it. My favorite depiction of burnout is in Kiki's delivery service. Kiki is a young witch who initially feels immense passion for flying, but once she establishes it as a job, she starts to lose interest in it. What once excited her begins to feel like a chore. She becomes burnt out. She then meets an artist, Ursula, who lives in the woods. Ursula tells Kiki,
散歩したり景色を見たり昼寝したり何もしない。そのうちに急に描きたくなるんだよ。
You are not a project. Your growth is not linear. Sometimes you'll take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. The fact that you are still here and still trying shows how strong you are, and you don't need some self-improvement trend to teach you that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.